You know that warm, comforting feeling of wrapping your hands around a fresh cup of coffee in the morning? The steam rising, that familiar aroma drifting through the kitchen, it's more than just a drink, isn't it? It's a ritual. It's the quiet moment before the day begins, a moment that's been part of your life for decades. Now, imagine this. You're sitting there, sipping that same cup you've loved for years, feeling like it's giving you the comfort and energy you need. But what if I told you that very coffee, that trusted friend, might actually be stealing from you? Stealing your energy. Putting extra strain on your heart. Even quietly speeding up the way your body ages. And here's the part nobody really talks about: after 60, your body plays by a different set of rules. What gave you a boost at 30 could now leave you feeling shaky, tired, or wide awake at 2 in the morning. Your digestion changes. Your heart works differently. Even your brain responds in new ways. Which means the coffee you choose can either help you feel vibrant, focused, and steady, or slowly drain your strength without you even realizing it. I know, it sounds dramatic. But it's true. And the scariest part? Most people don't notice until it's too late. They just chalk up the extra fatigue, the jittery hands, the racing heartbeat, or the nagging stomach aches to getting older. But what if I told you, some of those struggles might be starting in your coffee cup? That's why today, we're going to talk about something most people never think twice about: the 3 coffees you should never touch after 60 because they quietly work against your health, and the 3 coffees you should absolutely drink instead, the ones that can protect your heart, boost your energy, sharpen your memory, and even be gentler on your stomach. Now, before we dive in, I want you to do something simple for me. Just type "I'm here" in the comments. Because if you're here, it means you care about staying strong, steady, and independent, and you want your coffee to help you, not hurt you. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join us at Elderly Wisdom Guide, where we share simple, practical tips to make your golden years healthier, happier, and more confident. And listen, what I'm about to share might surprise you. Because if you get this wrong, it's not just your morning energy at risk, it's your independence. I've seen too many people lose their strength and balance, not because of one big health event, but because of little daily habits that quietly chip away at their body. Coffee can be one of them. That's why, after watching, I want you to check the description for something I call the 29 Days to Reclaim Your Confidence Challenge. It's already helping seniors everywhere avoid these exact health traps, and rebuild their strength, balance, and energy, before it's too late. So, are you ready? Let's pour the truth into your cup. Let's start with the first one, and this might sting a little if it's your favorite. Highly sweetened flavored lattes. I once had a viewer named Margaret. Lovely woman, 66 years old, sharp mind, loved to keep busy. Every morning, without fail, she'd head to her local cafe for her caramel latte. She called it her little treat. And honestly, she believed it was harmless. Just coffee with a little flavor. But here's the thing. Margaret couldn't understand why she was so sluggish by noon. She'd start her mornings feeling fine, but a few hours later, she'd be fighting heavy eyelids, struggling to focus, and sometimes even feeling irritable. She thought it was just part of getting older. But when she and I looked closer at what was in her cup, the truth was hard to swallow. Those flavored lattes? They're often loaded with sugar, sometimes more sugar than a can of soda. And for anyone over 60, that's a dangerous game to play. See, sugar doesn't just taste sweet, it sends your blood glucose on a roller coaster. You get that big burst of energy, but it's followed by a rapid crash. And when your body is older, those crashes hit harder. They can leave you more tired than before you took the first sip. But it's not just about feeling sleepy. That constant spike and crash cycle can raise your risk for diabetes, strain your heart, trigger inflammation in your joints, and even fog up your thinking. And the worst part? You might not even connect it to your coffee. I hear this all the time, but it's just coffee, not dessert. I get it. Coffee feels different from cake or candy. But the truth is, some of these drinks have so much sugar, you'd be better off eating a slice of pie for breakfast. Now, I'm not saying you have to give up flavor. You can still enjoy your coffee without turning it into a sugar bomb. Swap the syrups for a sprinkle of cinnamon or a dash of vanilla extract. You'd be amazed at how much flavor you can get without the crash, the joint aches, or the foggy afternoons. And remember, sugar isn't the only villain hiding in your cup. The second one on our list is a sneaky one, because it's often sold as a badge of strength. Strong, energy boost coffee blends. Let me tell you about Frank. He's 67, retired, still loves working on his classic car in the garage. Always been proud of keeping busy. But a few years back, Frank started noticing he wasn't as sharp in the mornings as he used to be. So, when he saw a bag of coffee at the store labeled Extra Strength Energy Blend, he thought, perfect. This'll keep me young and alert. At first, he loved it. That first cup hit him like a switch being flipped: energy, focus, motivation. But then, the problems started creeping in. By mid-morning, his hands were shaking. He felt restless, almost jittery. Some days, his heart would race out of nowhere, making him sit down and wait for it to pass. Nights got worse, tossing, turning, waking up at 3 a.m., unable to fall back asleep. Here's what most people don't realize: as we get older, our bodies process caffeine slower. That means the same amount of caffeine that felt just right at 40 can overwhelm your system at 60 or 70. It lingers in your bloodstream longer, overstimulating your heart, disrupting your sleep, and, if you're prone to it, turning small worries into full-blown anxiety. And there's a big misconception here. People think, more caffeine means more energy. But in reality? For many seniors, it's the opposite. Sure, you might get that big boost at first, but it's followed by what's called rebound fatigue, that sudden, heavy crash when your body's overworked from trying to handle the extra caffeine. You're left drained, not energized. If you love your morning coffee, you don't have to give it up. But keep it moderate, ideally under about 200 milligrams a day, which is roughly 2 small cups of regular coffee. And here's an important tip: drink it earlier in the day. Give your body time to process it before bedtime, so you can still get the deep, restful sleep your body needs to repair and recharge. And here's the third one, the one that hides behind convenience. Instant coffee with additives. Let me introduce you to Helen. She's 71, a retired teacher, and one of the most organized people you'll ever meet. Her mornings were always quick and efficient, no fuss. That's why she loved instant coffee. Boil water, stir it in, done. She'd been drinking it for years without a second thought. But then she started noticing something odd. Her stomach would feel unsettled after her morning cup. Some days she'd get mild cramps. Other days it was a bloated, heavy feeling that stayed with her until lunchtime. She thought maybe it was her breakfast, or just getting older. It wasn't until her granddaughter asked her to read the ingredients on the coffee jar that she realized, it wasn't just coffee in there. Here's the part most people miss: certain instant coffee brands don't just grind up roasted beans. They add preservatives to keep it shelf-stable for years. They slip in artificial flavors to make it taste fresh, even when it's not. Some even use anti-caking agents so the powder dissolves better, chemicals that have nothing to do with real coffee. For someone over 60, that's a problem. These additives can irritate the stomach lining, trigger inflammation, and in some cases, make existing digestive issues worse. And because our bodies become more sensitive with age, what didn't bother you in your 40 might suddenly cause problems in your 70. I've heard people say, it's just coffee powder, how bad can it be? Well, if it were just coffee, we wouldn't be having this conversation. The truth is, Some of these jars are more like a coffee-flavored chemical mix than the real thing. If you love the speed and simplicity of instant coffee, you don't have to give it up completely. Just be choosy. Look for organic freeze-dried coffee with nothing but coffee listed on the label. No fillers. No flavors. No mystery ingredients you can't pronounce. Your stomach, and your overall health, will thank you. Now, let's flip the script. We've talked about the coffees that can quietly work against you. But what about the ones that can actually help you age well? The ones that don't just avoid harm, but actively protect your heart, your brain, and your energy? That's where things start to get interesting. Let's start with one of my favorites, and the one that surprises a lot of people. Organic light roast. Robert is 72. He's one of those people who loves routine. Every morning for decades, he brewed a pot of strong, dark roast coffee. He believed the darker the roast, the stronger the coffee, the more it would wake him up. But in recent years, he started noticing something. That familiar morning boost came with a side of jittery hands. His stomach felt unsettled some days. And instead of feeling sharp and energized, he often had a slight, uncomfortable tension in his body. One day, while visiting his daughter, she served him a cup of organic light roast. He didn't expect much. In his mind, light roast was weak coffee. But halfway through the cup, he noticed something. He was awake, alert, but not shaky. His stomach felt fine. And he didn't get that mid-morning edge that his dark roast sometimes brought on. Here's why. Light roast coffee actually contains slightly more antioxidants than dark roast. And those antioxidants are like little shields for your body. Protecting your brain, reducing inflammation, and supporting heart health. When you're over 60, those benefits aren't just nice, they're essential. There's also a hidden bonus. Light roast tends to be a little easier on your system because it hasn't been roasted as long, which means it can be gentler on your digestion. And when it's organic, you're avoiding pesticide residue, something that older bodies have a harder time processing and eliminating. I know some people swear by the idea that darker is stronger, and therefore better. But strength isn't just about caffeine content or bold flavor. For seniors, strength is about how your body feels after you drink it, steady, focused, and without the crash. If you've been drinking dark roast your whole life, I'm not telling you to toss it out today. But maybe try what Robert did, swap in an organic light roast for a week and see how your body responds. You might be surprised at the difference. And here's the thing, coffee can do more than just avoid harm. It can actively protect you. It can support your memory, your focus, even your emotional well-being. Now this next one might make you raise an eyebrow at first, but stay with me, because it's not only fascinating, it's genuinely life-changing for some people. Mushroom coffee blends. Evelyn is 68, and she's one of those people who prides herself on staying sharp. She still runs the local book club, keeps up with her crossword puzzles, and loves having deep conversations with her grandkids. But she started noticing a frustrating pattern. By early afternoon, she'd feel that mental fog roll in. She'd lose her train of thought mid-sentence. Sometimes she'd forget where she put her reading glasses, only to find them right on her head. Her daughter suggested something unusual, mushroom coffee. Evelyn laughed at first. Mushrooms? In coffee? That sounds awful. But she decided to try it, just to see what all the fuss was about. A week later, she called me. I don't know what's in this stuff, she said, but I haven't had that afternoon brain fog once. I feel steady. Here's the secret, blends with medicinal mushrooms like lion's mane and reishi aren't just some trendy health fad. Lion's mane has compounds that support nerve growth in the brain, which can help with memory and focus. Reishi is known for calming the nervous system and reducing stress. And unlike high-caffeine blends, mushroom coffee is gentler on your digestion and doesn't give you that jittery spike and crash feeling. And let's tackle the biggest misconception head-on: mushrooms in coffee? That must taste weird. Actually, no. In most blends, you can barely taste the mushrooms at all. The flavor is still rich and coffee-like, sometimes even smoother than regular coffee. The mushrooms are simply an invisible partner, working quietly in the background to support your health. If you're curious but hesitant, you don't have to switch overnight. Start by blending a small amount of mushroom coffee with your regular coffee, maybe half and half. Give your taste buds a few days to adjust. Most people find they don't just get used to it, they start to prefer it, because it makes them feel more balanced. And now, we've come to the last one on our list. This one is for those of you who want your coffee to be more than a comfort or a pick-me-up, you want it to be your secret anti-aging ally. James, 70, had been a coffee drinker for as long as he could remember. Every morning for decades, the smell of fresh brew filled his kitchen before the sun even rose. But in recent years, something began to change. Within an hour of his first cup, he'd feel that uncomfortable burn in his chest, acid reflux. At first, he brushed it off. "It's just age," he told himself. "I'll pop an antacid and get on with my day." But eventually, the discomfort became too much. He found himself skipping coffee entirely some mornings, and that made him feel like he'd lost a small joy in life. Then, during a visit with his granddaughter, she handed him a tall glass filled with something dark and icy. "Try this, Grandpa, it's cold brew." He took a sip, and to his surprise, it was smooth. No sharp bitterness. No harsh bite. And later that day, no reflux. Here's why this worked for James. Cold brew coffee is made by steeping grounds in cold water for many hours, usually overnight. This slow extraction process pulls out the coffee's flavor without as much acid. Less acid means it's easier on your stomach, gentler on your teeth, and far less likely to trigger reflux. Yet, it still gives you that gentle, steady caffeine lift. One of the biggest misconceptions is that cold brew is only for summer, or only meant to be served over ice. Not true. You can brew it cold, store it in the fridge for the week, and then warm it up in your mug just like regular coffee without losing those low-acid benefits. For seniors who love coffee but struggle with stomach sensitivity, this is a game-changer. You get to keep your ritual, your comfort, and that sense of, with the first sip, without paying for it later in discomfort. If you want to try it, here's a tip: make a large batch on Sunday night. Use coarsely ground coffee beans, mix them with cold filtered water, and let them steep in the fridge or on the counter for 12 to 18 hours. Then strain it, store it in a pitcher, and enjoy it hot or cold all week. Not only will your stomach thank you, but you'll also save time every morning. And here's the deeper truth behind all of this. What we're talking about here isn't just coffee. It's the small daily choices, the things you put into your body every single day, that either protect your independence or slowly take it away. You might think, it's just a drink, but over time, those little habits can mean the difference between feeling vibrant in your 70s, or feeling limited by your own body. That's why I created the 29 Days to Reclaim Your Confidence Challenge. In less than 10 minutes a day, you can tackle the exact problems that quietly steal your confidence: weak legs, poor balance, low energy, even bladder issues. This isn't about turning back the clock. It's about making sure every year ahead feels worth living. Click the link in the description and start today, because your best years don't have to be behind you. I know coffee isn't just a drink, it's a ritual, a daily moment of peace. For many of us, it's the warm comfort that greets us before the day truly begins, the familiar aroma that stirs memories of early mornings, good conversations, and cherished routines. But the truth is, the wrong coffee choice can quietly chip away at your strength. Not in a sudden, dramatic way, but slowly, over weeks and months, in ways you might not connect to your cup at all. A little more fatigue here, a little less balance there, digestion that's not quite as easy as it used to be, or that creeping afternoon crash that makes the day feel longer than it should. The good news is, you don't have to give up this daily ritual to protect your health. You just have to choose wisely. You can still enjoy that first sip, that comforting warmth, that familiar flavor, but now it can be something that supports your body instead of wearing it down. So tomorrow morning, I want you to try something simple. Just swap one harmful coffee for one of the healthier ones we've talked about today. It might be an organic light roast for a cleaner, gentler caffeine boost. It could be a mushroom coffee blend for focus and calm without the jitters. Or maybe it's a smooth cold brew to protect your stomach and teeth. Your body will notice. And it will thank you. Because the truth is, strength and vitality at our age don't come from one big, dramatic change. They come from stacking small wins on top of each other, day after day. That's why I created the 29 Days to Reclaim Your Confidence Challenge, so you can build those wins into your routine without feeling overwhelmed. Every single day, you take a step that strengthens your legs, improves your balance, boosts your energy, and restores that spark you thought was gone. You can feel steady again. You can feel strong again. And you can feel alive again, in a way that makes you look forward to the years ahead instead of worrying about them. The first step? It might just be the coffee you choose tomorrow morning. So let's quickly recap what we covered today. There are 3 coffees you really should avoid after 60. First, sugary lattes, because that combination of caffeine and sugar spikes your blood sugar, stresses your heart, and drains your energy just hours later. Second, high caffeine blends, which might give you a quick jolt, but can also increase blood pressure, cause heart palpitations, and steal your sleep at night. Third, instant coffee with additives, which often contains hidden chemicals, extra sodium, and fillers that do nothing for your health and can actually irritate your stomach. And here are 3 coffees that can truly work with your body instead of against it. 1. Organic light roast, packed with antioxidants and gentle on the system, offering a steady, balanced lift without overloading your nerves. 2. Mushroom coffee blends, which can help sharpen focus, reduce inflammation, and deliver energy without the afternoon crash. 3. Cold brew, smooth and low in acidity, easy on digestion, and still giving you the gentle caffeine boost you need. Now, I want to hear from you. Which coffee do you drink most often? And after hearing what we talked about today, would you be willing to swap it for one of these healthier choices? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your experiences could help someone else make the change they've been needing. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide. That way, you'll get practical tips that make aging stronger, healthier, and more confident, without giving up the joys of life. And please, don't wait for a health scare to make changes. I've seen it too many times. Someone ignores the small signs, thinking they're nothing, until suddenly their balance isn't steady, their energy feels drained, and they're wondering how it happened so fast. Every week you wait is another week your body loses just a little more strength, just a little more stability, just a little more confidence. You can turn that around starting now. Go to the description, click the link for the 29 Days to Reclaim Your Confidence Challenge, and begin today. In less than 10 minutes a day, you'll be building balance, energy, and the kind of strength that lets you keep living life on your terms. Stay strong, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.